Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, welcome to the first ever episode of Foodie Tips here on patreon.com/GamerZakh for the $5 tier of the Buy Me a Coffee and Foodies Enthusiast tier, because I've been wanting to talk about food and I enjoy talking about food, and both Mrs GamerZakh and I are huge foodies, and I want to share the tips and secrets that I've learned and we've learned through making some really good food, because we're really picky about what we cook. And I never really had an outlet. I'm talking about games all the time, so now I have an outlet to talk about all these foodie tips rather than during some gameplay. And welcome to my kitchen, which is totally a real kitchen, and I very much did not go to Google Images, type in fancy kitchen and pick a picture. I did not do that. We may be getting some renovations and changing the kitchen throughout the series though, just as a note. Now today's episode, I'm going to be talking about these. A lemon and an orange, or any citrus fruit in general, limes or other citrus fruits. And the reason why I want to talk about these is because my favorite tip ever is related to citrus fruits and picking ingredients and using your senses. So for example, this lemon, if you go to a grocer or a shop or a fruit shop or anything and look at a lemon and look at it, it's like, how do you know if it's a good lemon? Picking the right ingredients when you're working with natural things like this is not like processed sugar that's the same every time. Every lemon is different. You buy 10 lemons, the 10 lemons are all gonna taste slightly different. And if you're using lemon in a pasta or you're using lemon in a cake, the type of lemon is kind of important. So firstly, use your sense of touch. You know how people go into fruit shops and do the squeezy squeezy thing? And you do the squeezy squeezy thing and it's like, is that good? Is that bad? What does that mean? And I found a great analogy for this. Basically, flex a muscle, any muscle will do, squeeze that muscle. Make sure it's flexed, but squeeze the muscle. And then you'll hear, you'll understand the phrase, which you hear on cooking shows so much, firm, but with a bit of give. They always say that, but it's like, what does that mean? Flex a muscle, biceps good, any muscle will do, flex it, squeeze it. And it should be firm with a little bit of give. And that's how the lemon should feel, right? Now, second, your sense of smell. Now, personally, my sense of smell is very strong. It's probably my strongest sense. So if you smell a lemon, it smells like plant. It doesn't really smell like anything. So what you want to do is don't make a big mess of the lemon, but just go up. Let me show you here. Just scratch a tiny bit, just a bit, and then smell. And then you're going to start smelling the lemon. And if you want to make sure, scratch a slightly different area and smell. Ooh, there's that lemon scent. And the way the lemon smells is how it's gonna taste, for the juice inside and the zest, the outer layer of the skin, which you can throw into pasta and stuff like that, which makes it quite fresh. But yeah, that smell of the lemon is very important. And this particular lemon smells kind of sweet. So it would be ideal to use in desserts. But if I'm using a sweet lemon for something that should be a bit more savory, you know, I have to remember that when cooking. But because this is a sweet lemon, if I put it in a cake or a tart or a biscuit or something like that, or a cookie, then you can actually reduce the amount of sugar in the recipe by a little bit to compensate. Because if you get really sweet lemons and then include a lot of sugar, it can actually taste way too sweet. And you want the natural sweetness of the lemon more than anything. So if you get sweet lemons for desserts, it's the best. And then you can reduce the amount of sugar, so it's actually kind of healthier, and it just tastes better. So it's healthier, it tastes better, and it's great. Same with the orange. If I smell the orange, it smells like plant, right? It smells like leaves or branches or something. It's just got that plant smell. Find a spot, scratch a little bit, smell. Ooh, okay. This orange actually smells kind of bland. It doesn't smell very orangey. Right? It looks great, right? It looks like a great little orange, right? But it doesn't smell like it's got a lot of flavor. Let me try another part. It smells like an orange, but it's not orangey. It's not like that lemon, which is, you know, very sweet, very lemony. Yeah, the lemon is way better than the orange. But if you just look at it in the shop, you couldn't really tell, right? And that's very important, okay? So don't go off looks. Be okay picking an ugly orange or an ugly lemon. The smell and the squeeziness is what counts, right? And that is basically my favorite tip in food, and very useful because citrus fruits go in everything from desserts to meats to savory stuff. You know, if you're putting lime on shrimp, you know, the limes, you might actually want them to be more sour and less sweet because that's what you want. So hopefully this tip does actually help you guys out, and this being the first episode of Foodie Tips on patreon.com/GamerZakh, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for your support on Patreon and everywhere else on all the other platforms, and yeah, I really do hope you find this interesting and useful. I'll be making a series of this, talking about meats, cooking techniques, more ingredients, all of that stuff in my totally real kitchen. And I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I will see you in the next part.